I'm not fucking around. Jesus.
Up for a wild trip? Come take a ride with me, the Ghost Biker, and my guys, Dave and Chris, and escape from everyday life. This is the Furlough Podcast.
Man, she brings it every time, doesn't
She
she?
really does.
Every time. Jeez. For anybody that doesn't know, that's Miranda, the ghost biker. You should need to check out her YouTube web series. I guess you would call that a web series.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we'll get her back in town. She's hopefully coming through town here in a couple of months. And but what I really wanted to talk about is how hyped up I am about this artwork.
Yeah.
This artwork's coming in. I've got a few sneak peeks. Um, got a local artist in Birmingham that's going to do us a nice, instead of seeing this black backdrop, we're going to do the nice 4x8 area of a very acid trippy artwork, different things of the show. Peter's his name. I can't, Peter,
Peter Whelm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
and what was funny is I brought him up at the bar the other night, and there was a guy that just instantly knew who it was. So Peter's really digging it out there. He's got an art show coming up. Man, he should if he wants to, he can take some pictures of ours or lug ours down there. So I think it's going to come from the sneak peeks that I saw. It's going to look good. I'm pretty jacked up about it.
Well, and so that's what I told him. But the art show he has coming up is going to be a collaboration with his brother.
Okay.
So it's going to be the two of them. So it's going to be pieces that they work on together. Because I offered that to him.
Oh, okay.
So he said, but he's going to want to take pictures of it just to show people,
Oh, for sure.
after the show.
Hell yeah.
But definitely. But I mean, he's got a big name in the kind of underground art world and the graffiti, street scene.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I mean, he's very well known out and about.
Man, I don't see how he comes up with that stuff. I mean, he gets inspirations from different things, but to be able to relay it on the art,
Hmm.
you know, it's just a different world. People can put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, it just is the creativity because what we did, the way we worked it is Chris and I, we gave him a list of all the guests that we had on, and then he kind of put his spin on it,
Yeah.
and that's just what makes it so funny.
And interest, it's almost like if you can um characterize or cartoonish your thought or a memory or a vision or something like that.
Yeah.
I've always been impressed by people that can do that stuff. I
Hmm.
used to work with this guy, and he was an engineering manager, but he doodled all the time, and so he would get those blank desk pieces. You know how people have desk calendars?
Hmm.
Well, he'd have one that was was just blank where you could just write notes all over it, but he didn't write notes on it. He doodled like that all the time,
Hmm.
and he'd fill it up, and then he'd give it away, and it was crazy. And he was an amazing artist.
Huh.
And I said, "Man, what are you doing this?" He goes, "You never heard the old saying, starving artist, have you?" And so he was like, for what he did, I guess he felt like he couldn't get paid for it. But man, his characters and cartoons were unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and I think you have two different kinds of artists. One that they view their art and then they put this outrageous price tag on it.
Right.
And then you have these artists that they don't realize how good they really are, you know.
That
And
reminds me, there's this chick. God, I'm not gonna say her name. She was dingy as fuck, a dentist, right? And she worked in town, and she would hang her she did art, and she'd hang her art on the wall at the dentist office trying to sell it. And you ought to saw the prices on that fucking art.
hmm,
She spent more time trying to sell the fucking art than she did working on your teeth.
yeah. Oh, I believe it because there's restaurants around town that have local artist
Uh huh.
work hanging up,
Yeah.
and I mean some of the prices are through the roof,
But could you,
man.
but can you imagine your dentist, while she's yanking and making on anything, cleaning, doing whatever? Says, "Did you see my?" Turns your head towards the wall, lets you get a good slobber look at the
Yeah,
at the artwork.
yeah,
You can pick this up for a sweet price of about $1,200.
yeah. You get a probably a discount with every root canal you
Yeah.
get. Is what it is. It's crazy,
Yeah.
but no, but it's an artist mindset is really it's a bizarre place to hang out, inside their mind,
Yeah.
because they're all over the place. You saw Peter.
Yeah.
He was one way on the phone, but then we meet this guy, and we got to get him on the show
Oh God.
because when we met him in person, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean,
And very funny.
yeah.
But when we listened to him on the speakerphone,
Oh
we were
my
like,
God.
well, I told you, I said, "Man, Dave, he's not interested at all.
Yeah.
He's not interested at all."
No, but he's all in. I'm gonna tell you.
Well,
He's
the pictures I've seen, the little snippets that you've teased me with look really good. He's definitely all in.
Yeah, so he's gonna blend them all together. So if you're a follower of the show, just think about all the guests we've had, and just imagine them in just kind of a mural all the way across the back, and he's gonna kind of blend them in all the way together.
Oh, it's
So,
gonna be awesome.
oh, it is gonna be
So we
super
gotta
cool.
figure out a way. Obviously, on the YouTube channel, you'll see it in the background stuff, and we'll take pictures for our Instagram page and stuff like that. But that's just, it's gonna be a hard. I mean, I'm gonna want to show that off. We gotta figure out a way to really push that piece of artwork. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, me too.
And what's funny is there, and obviously you and I know, but you and I have gone back and forth about this damn background, and I have been a a fucking thorn in the ass, a brick wall pushing against a block wall of just shutting down because every idea I didn't like. But I'm very excited about this.
Hmm.
I'm very excited, all in. Got to figure out how we're gonna hang this damn thing.
Yeah.
And but no, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome, and I hope Peter comes on, and hope his people appreciate this. All his customers and friends appreciate the silliness of the scenes.
Yeah. Well, and he told me the other day. He said that it should be done in about 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
So not this coming weekend, but the one after. Hopefully, we'll be able to have it up and ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So.
everybody pay attention. It's gonna be coming right there.
Yeah.
God, it's gonna be good.
It
It's
is.
gonna be good. Then we got to figure out when we start doing multiple cameras and stuff, we'll have to get another one done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're
Well,
gonna be hitting from different angles.
but hopefully by then, we'll have many more guests.
Yeah. Yes. To fill it up.
I'm working on some stuff. I know that we all are.
Well, I'm working on. I know we talked about the Romeo and Juliet the
Mhm.
other week. Joe was in that. It was a great show. It was put on by the Bell Tower Players, I guess is the name of their group. And Natalie Mullins is this chick that played Juliet that was just awesome. And I'm pushing Joe to get her on board. To get her to come by, maybe her and a couple of her friends or something like that, and get her on the show. 'Cause I'd like to really pick her brain on how long and what all she's done and what she's trying to do, and maybe help promote her a little bit and see if anybody's, if she's got anything else local that's going on. Because it took them a year before they finally got off the ground with this Romeo and Juliet because they kept running into issues.
Hmm.
So they're having their cast party next week. Joe's going to talk to her and see if we can get her on, and it should be pretty wild.
Oh, I'm all for it. Anytime we can get someone on here with an English accent, I'm all for that.
So,
I mean,
so we're gonna get her to talk to you specific. Is there any trigger words you need to?
there are a few trigger words. I went over it last week. I'm not gonna do it again, but there are trigger words.
Yeah, we'll let her know what the trigger words are. See if she'll play along and
Oh
see if
my
she gets
God.
you all wound up.
Can't wait.
Maybe
So,
we can talk her into wearing a nun outfit. and then you
Jesus.
just-
I may have to lock you outside the room then. Jesus.
Or I'll lock you outside. You're out there like a panting dog.
Can't
But-
wait. So
but-
that'll be a great show.
Yeah, and I want to try to get in, try to find that Doug guy too from PM Promotions. I think
Mhm.
yeah, PM Promotions. I want to try to see if he'll see what it'll take to get him to throw a funky beat for us, a little soundtrack, a little underlying music. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be nice.
That dude's something else, man. He's something else.
I mean, it was smooth. It was smooth jazz
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
It's like what you would hear on NPR in the background.
Oh yeah.
Just
Just
yeah. And I don't know if that is set music or he was just something he made up or what.
Joe said he made it up and was on the fly. I don't know that that's fact.
Huh.
I can't speak for him, but that's just what apparently he told Joe. Joe told me that he basically just played, and that's what's been interesting to hear it from day to day. He played the mood of the play.
Because I mean, that would be extremely impressive if he just made that up. I find that almost hard to believe.
Well, I'm sure there's riffs that you play kind
Yeah.
of regular, and you blend them all together. And I think that's another good artist thing when you're talking about, like Peter the Draw and stuff. There's certain things he's drawn over and variations and whatnot and all that good jazz. But the same with a musician, they'll play some licks and they'll change it up a little bit, doing this and that.
Mm,
But I bet it was a lot of just rolling with it and just seeing where it went.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's totally possible. He just made it seem very natural and very smooth.
It's,
Yeah,
he's probably been doing it for a while. I mean, that
yeah.
beard was impressive. I mean,
Well, I'm sure he didn't start that night. It was not his first night. There's no doubt.
but
So,
you a new you got a little show you're going to go to. I didn't get invited.
hmm,
Everybody,
you're always invited.
I'm always invited. I'm gonna crash this one. It sounds interesting.
So what it is next week I'm going with a group of friends to there's an erotic art show downtown. So I'm gonna go to that, and what I'm looking forward to, of course, the art show. There's also going to be a burlesque show there,
Right.
and but then of course my favorite is going to be they're also going to have over on the side is a freak show. So
I watched a couple of those. They do a few of them at the Sloss Furnace and stuff like that.
uh
And some of it was pretty impressive, amazing. Some of it was a little ridiculous.
yeah,
Some of it was like when they're trying to come up with filler, and they'll just like take a grinder on to on something and do some
yeah.
weird stuff.
No, that's silly.
But
So let me tell you, I went to a real freak show, and I told this story earlier today to a friend of mine. But so when I first moved to Seattle, when I was much younger, I packed my car up and I told my parents, I said I want to move away from home and just I want to move as far away from you just to see if I could make it. So I packed my car full of clothes, moved to Seattle, the opposite corner of the country, and found a job and just wanted to see and just make my own way. So I got a job at Alaska Airlines and I befriended this guy, Quentin Gibson. He was just this tall, thin, buttoned up, straight laced black guy, had a couple kids, super nice, never veered outside the lines, just very laser's edge straight. And I go, hey, listen, I don't really have any friends here, but I got this extra ticket to this show. If you want to come with me on Saturday night, give us a chance to kind of hang out and kind of get to know each other, and maybe we'll have a drink or so beforehand.
right.
And I'm telling you, this dude is so straight. I'll put it this way: he told me so he'd been married 5 years at that time. That his entire marriage, he'd only had sex with his wife, missionary. That's it. I mean, very straight, very vanilla.
Damn.
Yeah, it was incredible. So, anyways, that's how straight I'm talking.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell him what it was, and I didn't think there was a need to tell him. I just said there was a show we're gonna go to, and I didn't really know what to expect. Shit, I was new.
Yeah.
So we
But you
get
knew it
there.
was a freak show.
Well, yeah, I
Okay.
didn't know how freaky. Okay,
Okay.
I just knew a freak show. It could be level 1 freak. It could be a level 10. I mean, what do you know?
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, so here's what we get. First of all, we're standing in line and there's freaks in line. And he turns to me and he goes, "Dave, what is this?" And I go, it's like a circus. He goes, "A circus?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "It's like a traveling circus," but it was like at the Alabama Theater type
Right,
of a
right,
venue.
Right.
So we we go there, and the very first act, I'll never forget it. This guy comes out with like this like a European bathing suit on, and that's it. Nipples pierced, and his whole body is covered in pieces of puzzle tattooed,
Okay.
head to toe. And then he drinks two beers. He drinks some Pepto Bismol. He drinks a little thing of milk and then some water. And then he gets a guy out of the audience, and he has this guy feed this surgical tube through his nose, and it goes all the way to his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy sucks it to start like a suction,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls all that fluid he just drank back into a pint glass, and without saying a word, and here's what blew the whole crowd away. without saying a word, the guy from the audience takes the hose out of that glass and shoots it and drinks it.
Oh,
I mean, it was unreal. The crowd is going wild. That's how they opened the show,
oh
and
my
shit
God.
went downhill from
I
there.
would say that's
I'll
a
t-
hard opener, man. That's a hard
Oh, that was a
opener.
warm up. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a wild, wild show, and I thought this guy was going to throw up the entire show. I mean, it was all I could do to keep his ass from walking out on
I was
me.
going to ask,
Yeah.
did you have to hold on to him?
Oh man, it was. It, the thing is him and I carpool to work every day,
Oh,
so it
did
was a silent ride that Monday. Because he felt like I had tricked him into that,
Oh, damn.
But it was a fun show, and I expanded his boundaries a little
You
bit.
damn sure gave him a story.
Yeah,
You gave him a story in life.
and
If he's done nothing else the rest of his life, he'll be like, I don't go out with it. I can hear it now. He's at work. Some young guy goes, hey, we can go. He's like, look, stop.
I
I
did it
don't I don't go anywhere with anybody I don't know for X amount of time
right.
because I had an issue.
Yeah, 25 years ago.
25 years ago, this guy tricked me.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it was.
You wonder what his wife said. I wonder.
I don't know that he told her. I don't.
But he came in frazzled.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And so he was probably just sitting there and she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Did the guy hit on you? Did he? He's like,
No, no, I'm sure. I've met his wife. His wife was very nice. She knew that I wasn't like that, but it was. I really don't know what he told her, but I'm sure that had to have been some discussion because he's the kind that wouldn't keep anything from her,
right.
But I'm sure I was a huge disappointment on that night.
A huge disappointment.
But it was a fun night. But anyways, the only reason I tell the story is I don't know if next week's show is a level 1 or a level 10. I don't know how hard they're going to bring it.
Right. Well, obviously, where we were, the few shows that I've seen like that were in such public places where kids would be that is probably a level 1 at best. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be over there
Well,
doing that.
that will be a huge disappointment if it's a level 1, I'll tell you.
But I'm going next Saturday. Fuck
Come
it, I'm
on.
going.
$20.
Oh, that's cheap.
Best $20 you ever spent.
Hell yeah. I don't have anything going on next Saturday that I know of.
Boom, boom, boom.
So, yeah,
Do it, baby.
we need to do that. I'm
For
going
a
to check
little-
out the burlesque show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch some titties, shake some tassels.
Do
it.
Some little feather dancing.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So
that'd be pretty good.
the Furlough podcast will be well represented
Yes,
over there.
yes. God, I need to get some shirts and stuff made. We're
Mhm.
still waiting on that,
That's right.
but anyway, going from all that and shit, man. Did you see that crazy fucker in Dallas that shot up tried to shoot up the courthouse?
I did not.
You did not. Well, this motherfucker, I'm not gonna say his name. I really don't like to give these guys, credit as far as I just think that perpetuates these motherfuckers. But it reminds me when John was on the show and he was talking about police tactics and what they need and what they don't need. People say that they don't, that the cops don't need to have certain types of training and whatever like this. But this guy, and I'm on the fence on some of it, but I do think they need special training and they should be trained more. But this cat shows up at the Dallas courthouse, and he's got his army pants on. He's got a bulletproof vest on or a flak jacket on. He's got his a little baklava on, little ski mask deal. And there happened to be this photographer who was there to take pictures of somebody that was showing up. I guess they never said who the person was, but I guess somebody else that was a big case going on or whatever.
Mm.
So he was standing out there waiting to take pictures of that person coming in for their, for their court. So he was just the right place at the right time. And I'll tell his name. His name was Tom Fox. He's a longtime photographer in Dallas. So he's standing there. He said, "Here's a backfire." What he thought was a backfire. So he kind of turns around, and looks, and all of a sudden he sees pieces of the fucking granite, marble, whatever's on the front of the thing, come chunking off, right?
Mm.
And so he runs, and hides behind a thing, and he hears all this commotion. So he looks around the corner, and as a photographer or whatever, he's got his camera, so he starts shooting pictures, and he shoots a picture of this guy, and he's running and picking up a magazine and doing stuff. First of all, he's holding the gun crazy as hell, so you know he wasn't trained.
Right.
And the look on his eyes, man, you could just see it. I mean, it was a great shot. He did not want to be there. He was like, and you think, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, I mean that's the first question.
Yeah.
Why are you there?
Why are you there? I mean, you could just he just had this look of fear in his eyes, like I have fucked up. And so, you know, people give cops a bad name, whatever, and there's assholes in any profession, but you know, they shot his ass up, and as soon as they shot him up, you know, the U.S. Marshals started doing CPR on him and trying to save his life. You know, and they got pictures of them, and I mean, this is a guy that they're trying to save a guy that just shot at a bunch of them,
Right.
and they shoot him, you know, they have to, but they're doing fucking chest compressions and patching up holes and doing all kind of
And
shit.
you don't know if they saved them?
I can't remember. I really can't. Have to look it up. I think I want to say that he died, but I don't know that. I don't know that for
Okay,
sure.
let's go with that.
But
He died.
he died. But what it reminds me of is you remember the North Hollywood shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Those motherfuckers were crazy. They had the damn, you know, at that time, what was it, late 80s, early 90s? You know, a lot of cops still carried revolvers.
Right.
You know, they were kind of transitioning to these semi-automatic pistols.
Right.
And so they got pictures of these motherfucking cops on the other side of the damn cop cars shooting their little revolvers, you know, and these dudes fucking got AKs.
Yeah.
And they had modified body armor to make sleeves and do. Then they had
Oh, they were head to toe.
head to toe, and they were just hitting these dudes, and it was just ricocheting off of them, man.
Well, they said that those guys, the bullets that those I think they were bank robbers.
Yeah, they
that
were robbing a bank.
used, their bullets were actually going through the cars.
Yeah, they were armor piercing rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just shooting right through the cars and hitting them cops. I mean,
Yeah.
it was unreal that day.
And they were just do.
Yeah.
And fuck, I don't see how they carried that much ammo, but you know, they had they were the one guy, they had him pinned down. He couldn't really go anywhere. He was standing behind that damn car, and he just lean up and he just fucking fire a damn magazine off and just riddling.
So you remember how it ended, right?
Yeah, because they killed that guy, and then another guy was walking down the neighborhood, and he was hurt, but he was still mobile, and he was just fucking shooting motherfuckers, and I can't remember.
He shot himself. is
Yes,
how it
he
ended.
ended up shooting himself, but I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if he got in a truck or he was behind a truck or
I
something.
think he was behind a truck
Yeah.
and ended up shooting himself.
Yeah, he knew it was fucking over.
Yeah, it was game over.
And there's no way they didn't use that scene when they were making the movie The Town. Do you remember the movie The Town?
No, I never saw that.
It was a great movie, but it was staged in Boston,
Hmm.
and there was a scene where a guy, they had robbed, you know, I think they were bank robbers. They robbed a bunch of banks, but they did a big bank robbery at the damn baseball field that day or something. And anyway, they chased him down the same way. He ended up hiding behind a damn mailbox, like the big kind there on the street, you know, the big blue kind.
Mhm.
And they were trying to give him gun. He was like, "Fuck you, I'm not giving up." You know, he didn't have body armor all over.
Yeah.
You know, but it was so reminiscent of that North Hollywood shit that I think that's where they started the armor piercing rounds. They started, you know, they were giving a big pushback on that ammo and stuff like that, and that's where a lot of the cops started really going to semi-automatic
Right.
pistols and also carrying AR style or M16 style rifles in their car.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no reason to be outgunned by a guy walking down the street. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
had the damn I can't believe he didn't shoot at the helicopters that I remember. But you know, they had helicopter coverage all over, but they were pretty
Yeah.
high. I mean, he probably couldn't have he might have got them,
Yeah.
but I just remember that, and I was watching this cat, and I was remember that North Hollywood shootout and how it just changed. It was a game changer.
Oh, there's no doubt. And I'll tell you, anybody that's never seen it or is maybe too young to remember it,
Yeah,
I mean, just Google it or YouTube it because it's all over, and
I wonder if we could-
it's an incredible piece of footage. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like from the movies to see that.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We got it was 97. Damn, 97?
Yeah.
God, it seems later than that. Let's see if
Yeah.
we can play.
So
We'll try not to hit any ads on this thing to get in trouble. Let's see what this thing says. For screening only. Man, Hollywood, California's just a wild ass place, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. But have you ever been there to California?
Hmm.
So my mother, I was talking to her the other day, and I said, if you could go anywhere in the country, where would you go? And she says, man, I've always wanted to go to California. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, of all the
Well,
places, come on,
she's
man.
probably talking about the Pacific, up run up down the coastal highway, or maybe out
She,
in the
she said LA, and I said, listen, you got to come up better than that. I've been there, and it's not all glitz and glamour. It's just not. I'll be honest with you, to me, the streets and the greenery and all that just look wore out and tired and exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you can tell that it's it's seen a lot of population, a lot of people.
There's so man, it's crazy out there.
Yeah.
It's great. I spent more time in San Diego and a little bit of time in San Francisco,
Hmm.
but I've heard San Francisco's going nuts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you kidding me?
Man, I want to get to the damn.
But I don't know if it's going to transfer over to this.
Oh, here we go. So there was a car they were trying to get away in. Looks like a Buick LeSabre.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened in '97. The hell, that car is probably an '87.
Yeah. Golly. I think this is when he was walking down the street. I really wanted to. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on here.
but like I said, I mean, it's not going to transfer.
Yeah, it's guys running around the old Crown Vics.
Yeah, yeah. I still see those riding around in my neighborhood. The abandoned cop cars.
What is the deal with the cops that with the people going and buying the old cop cars, and you'll see the light, turned on the, the little
Yeah,
spotlight
there'll be
deal.
no lights on the top, but it'll still be black and white, and they'll have
Yeah,
that side light,
that little
and
side
they'll
light.
give me damn mini heart attacks as they come running up by the side. I'm like, Jesus, guys, come on now.
Well,
So,
you got them. Well, now they're driving new vehicles, man. You got to reset your brain for
yeah.
for the new cars.
Well, they got a lot of SUVs out there, and they look sharp.
Yeah.
So,
I think Fultondale's running like some Ford. Is it Ford Escapes? Is that right?
yeah, I mean, they've got some tight looking trucks out there. So,
I think Alabama State Troopers were voted in the top 5 best looking police vehicles in
really?
the country.
Hmm.
The color code, the way the color schemes and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in February 1997, 2 heavily armed bank robbers engaged in a shootout with police. Golly. SWAT member. Multiple officers and civilians were shot and injured by the gunman. This video's sucking ass, guys. Look at that dude. Look at him. He's just fucking hammering. God, let's see. And this poor bastard runner, he's got, look at that. Oh. Yeah, there was that truck I was talking about. Oh, they were Hispanic?
Hmm.
I thought they were 2 white guys.
Yeah. See, this is where he's injured right here. He's getting ready to wind it up.
Damn.
So
that's curious. I really didn't know. The picture they shot, yes, he shot himself right there.
mm-hmm.
Well, it begs to ask the question, man. Would you end it that way, or would you let them take you?
Well, I mean, I have to preface the answer with saying I couldn't imagine myself being in that situation. Number one, I mean, that's
you would be throwing.
so.
You would be throwing. I don't think you could carry enough cash to make it worth your while.
No, I mean, that's so far outside of my way of thinking and rationale that to say, how would I end it? I mean, I can't. First of all, I couldn't imagine beginning it. It's just
Okay, what would start you? What would motivate you if let's
to rob a bank like that.
Yeah, to rob a bank. Say, I got to go fucking all in. Do you think Do you think it's more of a thrill-seeking situation? Or do you think it's more of a they did it out of necessity?
I I I really couldn't say. I mean, it would have to be the country would have to collapse, and it would have to be an apocalyptic scenario outside the window.
Well, then you're breaking into grocery stores and not banks if it's at that level because your money's not worth. Look at Venezuela; they got fucking money laying in the streets.
But that's what I'm saying. I just can't. I can't imagine me getting to that point. I mean, it would have to be. My situation would have to be so dire, and maybe their situation was dire. I don't really know what drove them to that point.
Let's see. Here they are. Larry
But
Phillips Jr. and Emil. How the fuck do you say that last name?
I don't know what that is. So,
They were right. 1930.
oh, while they were being arrested,
Yeah.
is what
Well,
it's.
the photos were from when they were arrested for speeding.
Hmm.
So in '93 they were arrested for speeding, and then in '97, I guess that was a big ass fucking bill you had to pay for California.
They probably had to pay a cell phone bill. Jesus.
Golly. Let's see.
2,000 rounds of ammunition were fired by police and the robbers.
So 1,000 rounds. I mean, that doesn't sound like near a lot. I mean, you can 30 round magazines. I mean, you got.
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, I think most shootouts, I would think a couple hundred rounds, and it's pretty much over. I
Yeah.
would think.
It
You
didn't.
think about
Well, this
2,000.
cat in Dallas didn't even make it. I don't think he even made it past 15.
Yeah,
He
that's my
was-
point. Yeah, and you think
He was
2,000.
carrying magazines and he didn't even make it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and he was probably all wearing polyester and cotton. I bet he didn't have any body
yeah,
armor.
yeah, he was wearing damn just his super cool tactical pants,
Yeah.
with this little what I'm not gonna give her credit, but it is funny. But this chick that I know, she calls them purse pants.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, and she goes, and when like the shorts I'm wearing now, I'm on. She goes, put these in your purse pants.
I like cargo shorts.
I do too.
Yeah,
and
or
she
purse pants.
she
That's
makes
okay.
she makes fun of them, but it was pretty funny. She goes, yeah, your old purse pants.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, at least I don't have to strap nothing to my back. I can just
Yeah.
running free.
Well, it's only because my what's that? My fanny pack. I left it at my mother's house.
Hey,
So I gotta wear.
they're coming back, man.
That's not for me.
You can credit Joe Rogan for that shit, man.
I'll stick with my purse
Him,
pants.
him
Thank
and
you.
him and
The Rock.
well, I think The Rock's wearing them too.
The Rock wore it back in the '80s.
Yeah, but
you know.
he was talking about how great they were, and then I can't even, the guy's name's escaping me now. He's a famous jujitsu guy in New York, but he wears them all the time.
Really?
All the time. He wears rash guards everywhere too.
Oh,
That's
really?
his go-to shirt, and he wears rash guards, loose pants, almost like track pants,
Uh-huh.
and carries a fanny pack. And everybody gives him a hard time. He goes, "Hey man, you tell me what to wear that's as comfortable as this, and that's what I'll wear."
Nothing. How about that? I guess you could just wear just a fanny pack.
Just a fanny pack.
I mean, that's the ultimate
So
comfort.
you're saying you wouldn't wear a fanny if it
No.
became all the rage again? Fanny pack wouldn't be.
I have never been one to follow fads ever.
Yeah,
Not fashion fads. I don't.
yeah.
I've always been, and you've known me long enough to
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
I'm about 10, 15 years behind the fashion. I just don't. I wear what I like and what is comfortable to me.
I dress like a kid most of the time.
Yeah, me and you too. Listen, I didn't dress up for you. I just got done doing the Roomba before I got
The Roomba.
No, I was out having drinks with friends. But I wear what's comfortable and what I like. I really couldn't give two shits about fashion and following trends
Yeah.
and all that.
I
I'm not a Kardashian for Christ's
Yeah,
sakes.
I keep going through backpacks, or my thoughts on backpacks because I think a backpack is a very good thing for a guy to have, but finding the right one is tough. You don't want one too big, you don't want one too small, and so short of a fanny pack, I want it bigger than a fanny pack, but not as gay.
Mm. Well, Yeah, I mean, on the gay scale, I guess you want to keep it like at a 3 or below. I can understand that. And I've got a badass backpack. I just don't have shit to put in it. So if I had something to put in it, maybe a pair of shoes or something. I don't know.
I
But
bought Amber's birthday was this week,
I
and
do.
I give her a little hell, sometimes, but she's big into playing pool and stuff, so I bought her some pool stuff, and and it was kind of funny because she made this comment to my mother, but she has a bad habit of just throwing cash in her pockets. And so when I wash her clothes stuff, I'm just pulling. I'm like, man, I make more money washing clothes than I do going to work. I mean, it's like I'm just pulling fives and tens out of this fucking every time I wash clothes. 'Cause I just throw them in. I don't always check pockets.
Yeah.
So when I'm pulling the clothes out to put them in the dryer, the fucking it's just it's a mom's wet dream.
Yeah.
If she had a bunch of kids and stuff, she's like, God, never give this shit back, even though it's probably the mother's money anyway. But anyway, so my point was giving her a hard time. I bought her a money clip because it's like if you're not going to use a damn purse or a wallet, at least clip this together. And I don't think she's going to use it, but it's got a little 9 ball on it.
Yeah.
But my mom, she wasn't feeling good this week, so she texted my mom, that hey, something about going to the doctor, and my mom was texting back with her, and she told her where to go, and she says male or female, and she goes, well.
Oh,
I
I
reckon,
saw that.
yeah, I reckon. What she say? She goes, I identify as a female most of the time, but I am a little butch.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. When you were talking about that money clip, and I didn't plan on telling this story. So during the week, so where I work, we all have to change clothes because we get so dirty through the workday.
Sure.
So I was in the locker room changing clothes, and we were swapping shifts. And so there was a guy from an earlier shift in there, an old timer, been around 30 years,
Hmm.
super old guy. He's actually retiring at the end of the month. He's in there changing clothes, and he opens up his locker, and he goes, looky here. He goes, this is the way a locker should look. And he opens the door, and it's empty, and there's a tiny box right in the middle, all the way to the back. And I go, what is that? What is that shit? And he opens it up, and he reaches in his pocket, and he's got a wad of, like, he's got like 7 $1 bills, and he folds them in half, nice and neat. He opens the box up, takes a paper clip out, and clips his ones, puts it back in his pocket. And I go, are you shitting me right now? That's all you keep in there is a box of paper clips? Your locker? Jesus Christ. I mean, that's an old timer for you there.
Okay, well, I do that at work. People look at me crazy because my unfortunate day to day is in a cubicle. I have nothing personal on my at all. And other people, man, they got shit hanging and decorating. They make it out like it's their fucking home. And I get it. We spend a lot of time there.
You don't have a picture of me?
I don't have nothing.
Wow.
I don't have a picture of my wife, nothing, my kid.
I have a picture of my dog on my desk.
Oh, I imagine you do. Probably a very nice frame.
It's my screensaver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But no, everybody looks at me funny, and I go, because I don't have a bunch of personal shit. And they're like, why not? And I said, if they fire me from this motherfucker for any reason,
I'm not packing a
I
box.
want to get up and go. I don't want to be sitting there fuming, thinking about, let me go get a cart. Because there's this one chick that works with us, and I'm not kidding you. It would be 3 to 4 trips minimum to get her shit out.
Listen, we're not going to go into this too deep, but I got to touch on this. We all know I've been fired from a job before, right?
Yeah.
So the story is this, and I know I haven't told this story on here, but so one of the managers walked up to me as I'm walking through the floor, and he goes, Dave, just a heads up. He goes, I'm about to fire your ass in about 2 minutes. He goes, if there's anything you need from your desk, go ahead and get it, because this is the end right here.
Damn.
And I go, fuck that shit. Let's go. And that was the end of it. So whatever was there was there. And
you could keep the pins.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a misunderstanding. It was a long time ago, but I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of pictures of my dog. I'll create a new screensaver.
Exactly.
I'm fine with that. We'll just go right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to walk through with a fucking box full of stuffed animals and flowers and shit.
sobbing.
Hell no. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't fucking fire me on Friday afternoon. Goddamn.
What
Or
was? I remember I called
or
you. I think.
don't no, excuse me. Don't fire me on a Monday morning.
Well, so I'm going to be honest with you. So my father was in management for 40 years, and he always told me that he tried to fire guys. If he had to, he'd fire them on a Monday. And he said, here's why. He says, he goes, I had good intentions. If you fire people on a Monday, then they have Tuesday through Friday to engage other companies to try to find a job.
Right.
He says if you fire them on a Friday, then they've got all weekend to stew and brew over it.
Mhm.
He says he goes, my intentions were as pure as they could be. He goes, you're firing a guy.
Yeah.
So the best I could do was fire them on a Monday and then allow them to start their job search immediately the next day.
Right.
Which is this thing, whether that be right or wrong.
Yeah. I think some people say that they like to do it on Fridays just so if a guy does get pissed off, it has 2 days to cool down.
Oh, so he don't come back on a Tuesday?
Come back on a Tuesday and
Yeah.
fucking shoot your ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like so. Yeah, I mean, I think about that kind of shit all the time where people are like, it's like, man, you ain't got nothing in here but work. I'm like, no, well, that's what I'm fucking here for. I'm not here to put up my fucking. People bring their damn diplomas and they hang them on the wall. They do, they have pictures of like 40 pictures of all their kids. I guess they're trying to remind themselves why they fucking do the daily grind or whatever.
I've got 2 bottles of water and a bag of apples. That's what I've got literally sitting on my desk right now. So I'm good.
Yeah.
I think there's a pin I brought from my house over there.
Yeah.
But
Let me swing by and pick up my pen.
no, we'll just go ahead, kind of like the other place. We'll just go ahead and do this shit now. We can do it on the floor. We don't have to go back to your office.
That's fucking hilarious. But no, man. So if you ever lose it, if you're gonna rob banks, do it like the North Hollywood shootout, but just have a better exit plan. I think that was the only thing they fucked up.
Copy.
Have somebody with a little helicopter waiting on you.
Yeah, or you can just not rob a bank.
Not
whichever.
rob a bank. I don't know, man. I think there was a girl. Years ago. This was mid to late '90s, roughly about the same time. This girl shows up. She's a cousin of a girl that my buddy was dating, and little redhead chick. She's kind of sexy, but you can tell she was a little wilder, than most people.
Mm.
And she was the rumor mill got out that her and her then boyfriend got busted for robbing banks. Okay, so how they snagged her is he would go into the bank wearing a long red wig and girls' clothes and rob the bank. That was his disguise. And then, which basically looked like her. And they ended up picking her up or something like that. But she rolled on him and he ended up going to jail. So she was on, I don't know if they didn't charge her or what happened, but she ended up, at these people's house. But
So the master plan is he would dress up like his girlfriend,
I guess so.
go rob a bank,
Right.
so she would get busted.
I guess it never made any sense to me because I did the whole head tilt like. That
So
just,
if I rob a bank, I'll dress up like you.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's what I was saying. It was crazy, but they got busted. The rumor mill was they got busted, and anyway, he went to jail and she didn't. So I think she just sang on him. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild, man. That is wild.
But I think a lot of people do stuff, even illegal stuff. Not why you think they do it. They do it for the excitement, or they do it. It's like I was listening to a guy talk, and he said that half the reason why he did coke was not the coke itself; it was the whole going and getting it, and the things he had to dealing with the crazy people. It was the adrenaline rush of he didn't. I guess he didn't have a steady dealer or whatever, but he was he would go the way he had to go get coke from different people.
Mhm.
It was such a rush that having to deal with these people that it just got him all fired up.
Well, on that note, I'll tell you this. I just had my fucking bank account hacked into, and
No.
they charged me $149.99. And I wonder, what was the rush? hacking into my fucking bank
Well,
account.
that's just money.
It wasn't getting.
That was just money.
It wasn't buying Lil Wayne records. Was it hacking into my account? Is that what the thrill for that guy was? You
Maybe
think
so. You know, you got to think about some of those guys get off on breaking the system.
that pissed me off? That really pissed me off. you
That's an
know,
odd number to get from you.
149.99 and went straight to iTunes. Yeah.
Oh, that's just some fucking kid then.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's just some fucking kid.
Yeah, but they hit my parents too
But
twice on iTunes.
well,
That
what they
seems to be the
do,
go-to
yeah, but
thing.
what they do is they buy iTunes cards, and then they turn around and they sell the iTunes cards to kids.
Oh, see, I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this little motherfucker, that's how
Hmm.
they figured out a way to get your card with it, and it's probably some little motherfucker that's waited on you, that's taking your card back and wrote down the number.
Probably at a brewery, a bar, because I'm a man about town.
Well,
Hear
that's what I'm
me.
saying. So what happened is somebody clipped a picture front and back of your thing. They got a buddy that works at a store that basically.
No, I went through the Apple website.
Oh, did it? So it's even
Yeah.
yeah, made even so they ordered
So,
iTunes and
but whatever. So I'm cash only right now.
cash only.
Well, until my new card comes
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Well, you gotta
but
be careful. You gotta watch that shit, man. Well, it's like Joe. Joe is one of those cats that doesn't buy anything online, doesn't like his fucking information on there. He's trying to be a ghost, and he's had his social security card snagged. He's had damn bank account snagged.
really,
When he files, and he hopefully don't get mad at me, but he doesn't use his social security card to file his taxes anymore.
huh?
They had to give him some weird ass fucking number for X amount of time. I don't know if it's passed by or not, but until they got that social security thing situated out, he was having to use this long ass fucking number
Hmm.
to file his taxes because somebody snagged his fucking used his social on some shit.
That's unreal, man. These little bastards that call in and do this stuff. I mean, it pisses me off to no end. I have a company phone aside from my personal cell phone,
Uh huh.
and I get random ass people calling me from all over the country, all over the world. I mean, it is wild.
Yeah.
On my company fucking phone all the time, day, night, it doesn't matter, you
Yeah.
know? And I don't mean like, hey, is Chris there? I mean, these bastards are trying to make a hard sell
Yeah. Yeah.
of telemarketers and
Yeah.
stuff. And you just never know what angle they're working.
Well, my funny thing that I got, it's funny that you brought that up. So for probably 5 years now, at least, I'm going to say a solid 5 minimum, I get a phone call from California once, twice a week. And it's backed off a little bit, but it was almost 3 times a week at some point. And they call looking for Maria Valley. And the firemen wanted to talk to her, the solar panel people wanted to talk to her, the siding people wanted to talk to her. And I got so disgusted with it, right? So I wouldn't answer the phone for the longest time, but they call. And I'd block each number. The numbers always changed.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime it said California, I knew who it was and I knew it was looking for Maria. So all my people at work must have thought I was crazy for a long time because I'd answer the phone. I'd be like, "Hello, nope, that bitch died. I killed her. It was a hell getting her head off her body." I mean, it's just like, and I'd say, "Oh, I skinned that bitch alive." I mean, I'd say some straight stuff, and some people would hang up immediately, and some people would be like, "Excuse me," and I'd be like, "Yeah," I said it was a lot of blood. I said, "But I killed her," and I'd say all that stuff. And one day, one of my coworkers sitting in a cube over. He goes, "Man, one day the fucking cops are going to show up to get you." I said, "I hope they do, because then we can track down who this motherfucker is calling me."
Right.
I
Right.
said, "We're going to figure it out right now. We're going to get to whatever telemarketing company. We'll get this fucking shit handled."
I mean, it's almost abusive how it is
Yeah.
right now.
Well, they have a new app where they said that'll block that. I can't remember if Joe's got one or if
I've
it's,
got one on my
was
phone.
it you? Maybe it was you that was telling
It's
me.
coming on my personal phone.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
put it on my work phone.
Yeah, I need to
So,
get that. But after you tell them that you've killed somebody for 5 years, eventually it starts slowing.
yeah,
But it was always for her.
Huh.
And then Joe did this whole thing. I would have given money to have this recorded, We were sitting in the office and they called for Maria, right? And I looked, the phone started ringing, and I looked at it and I was like, "Fuck!" And he goes, "What is it?" He's sitting right, we were all sitting around talking, and I told him what it was, and he goes, I said, "Here, you answer it." I said, "I don't even want to deal with him." So he answers it and goes straight into voice, like he makes up this voice, and he strings these motherfuckers along, right? And he's being nice to them, and and they were like, "Oh no, Maria here," and he was like Hinduish type voice, and they were wanting to put solar panels. Yeah, they was trying to sell solar panels, so they were asking him, so well, because the thing is, the name is probably not even there's probably not even a real Maria about it. They use that because then they say
To start a
to
conversation.
start the conversation.
Sure.
And so he's like, "No, no, Maria." And say, "Well, oh, are you the homeowner?" He goes, "Yes, I own many homes." And he goes through this whole fucking spiel with him, and he leads them right to where he's about to fucking lose them, right? And then when he knows he's about to lose them, he's got him on speakerphone, and so everybody's crowded around. We must have 7 or 8 guys all crowded around, listening, just holding their mouths, trying not to laugh. You can hear that he was just about to lose them, and then he'd say something and get them sparked up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he got to the point where he got this chick's manager. It was a chick that he was talking to. Got this chick's manager on the phone. He had him convinced that he lived in California. He had multiple houses, and she asked him if he had a house in a certain area. He goes, "Well, it could be a house, but it's more of a mud hut." And and they never broke. He said that he had a fucking mud hut, and they were wanting to put a damn solar
Solar panel.
panel on a fucking mud hut
Oh
in
my
Northern California. He
God.
goes, and if you heard as a telemarketer and you're trying to sell solar panels,
Right.
I have a mud hut. First of all, do you think there's going to be electricity in your mud hut? But they were wanting to put they were wanting to put solar panels on the mud hut.
Hey, a sale is a sale,
That's right.
baby. That's why they see it. So, oh, there's. I'm gonna tell you that is the lowest life form are those fucking telemarketers. But what I get all the time is it seems to be a recording on the front end, and then you have to hit a button to get to an actual human, and that's what pisses me off
Yeah,
because I want to blast their ass out of the gate. I don't want to have to sit there and wait
go
and do
through
all
there.
that. But I
Yeah.
will wait just so I can get to them.
Yeah.
I absolutely will wait.
Damn. Yeah, I tried. I try to avoid 'em. I need to get the app, but I laugh though because sometimes it's just funny. It's just fun. But I did hear this. I always heard that what you need to do if we really want, and this is a public service announcement right here, so everybody listening. If you get a telemarketer call, do not instantly hang up. Do not, do the opt out button. Don't do anything. You get on the phone with them and you let them ramble for 5 minutes. Let it be 5 minutes of your life. Let them ramble and then tell them no. If everybody did that and it wasted the guy's time, everybody's wasting their time for them versus hitting just no, 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 because they're playing the numbers. They're
Yeah.
just hitting, they're just throwing out as much, to get the thing. So if everybody would answer and everybody would spend 5 minutes of letting them ramble, then they would go broke.
Well, that's easy to say on the surface, but I will tell you, before I got this app, I've gotten as many as 14 calls before 10 a.m. And that is no joke.
Damn.
Yes, that was lighting my ass up, starting at 7 a.m. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you talk about being, red hot.
Right.
I was ready to choke one of these bastards. So, but because it's a recording on the front end, that's why you got to wait,
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you got to wait. You got to get them online. But that's if everybody would do that for a year. So like when everybody does the gas boycott, to drive the gas prices back down.
Mm.
It's sort of like a reverse that instead of boycotting, not answering the phone. If everybody will answer the phone for a telemarketer and let them do their spiel for 5 minutes, if everybody will do it they don't make any sales, then it just kills them because they haven't made any sales in that time frame.
But seriously, who the fuck's buying from these people anyways?
That is a great question, but there's some dumb motherfuckers in the world.
I just can't imagine that a random person calls you and you're just going to give your credit card number up.
Oh, you'd be
You know,
shocked.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say that kind of a boycott, That's kind of like the Alyssa Milano no sex boycott. That's so
That's a
it's
little bit different. That's
that's
a little bit different.
yeah. Who the fuck are these people?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I feel sorry for her husband.
yeah.
Damn.
Well, shit, man. I think we wrapped up. I want to make sure everybody, man, we look forward to the artwork coming in. Um, check out the guys. Do you know the name of that deal that's coming on next week?
What's that?
Your
The show?
burlesque show.
I don't, but I can get it. It is going to be. Let me see. Beep, beep, boom. The name is. It is going to be the. It's put on by Eventbrite. It is Birmingham Erotic Art Party.
Birmingham Erotic Art Party. All right.
Yep. So check it out. It is Saturday and Sunday, the 29th and 30th of June. It has 6 p.m. as a start time on Saturday. It doesn't have an end time, so I guess just whenever the candle burns out.
Mhm.
And then on Sunday it starts at noon until whenever. So
Oh, and the last thing, we've been hitting up the mayor of Birmingham quite a bit. If anybody knows him personally, let him know we're fans. We want to get his ass on the show too.
hey, no doubt.
All right. So hit that old lucky number 2. And we'll let Amber leave us out of here.
Here we go.
All right, man.
This is the Furlough Podcast, brought to you by All American Ford in Aniana, Alabama. Stop by and see John Makovica and his team today.